Hello and welcome to the charming city of Pau. It's here on this legendary street circuit that the 2012 Midget Series took part in the 71st edition of the Grand Prix of Pau. This weekend, a midget action is outside the championship, where both the outgoing 1300 class and the all-new 2-litre category were on hand for no less than 8 races on this tight and twisty challenge of a racetrack. Before we head to the competition, we thought you might like to get a close-up look at the layout in a 2-litre car, and the vastly experienced Jean-Noël Longtui is our chauffeur.
Bonjour à tous, donc Jean-Noël Longtui, j'ai eu le bonheur de découvrir la
of driving the 2-litre car for the first time here during the Pau meeting, and he says it should be a cracking weekend. We're on the front straight after the braking point. Back on the gas, second, third, fourth. Here you have to make sure to stay in the middle of the track because the edges are concave. To make sure you don't drift to the outside, that's what you got to do. We're down to first now. We hit the line and then give it a little gas because we lack grip. We shift to second, then back to first. Then with a touch of gas, we position the car. That has a slight tendency to understeer. Here you have to get it just right, then second, third, fourth, before taking the left flat out. That leads us to Parc Beaumont. And then you drop it back down into third gear. We try to stay in the middle of the road and make sure not to be carried into the dusty area. The Foch statue, here we're in second, then first, second, towards the left. We have to keep hard on the gas and stay there. Just after hitting the limiter, it's back on the brakes, back down into first. First, you have to pay attention not to go off here. Second, limiter, brakes, back to first here. We hit the apex, and then it's back on the gas very early to set up the front straight to hit a top speed of 227 kilometers per hour in fifth gear. Take on the long right-hand corner that you take flat out. We now see the Midget 2-litre competitors getting ready for the first of the weekend, just a few weeks after they made their racing debut at Lebanon. And at the first confrontation on the streets of Pau, it's series boss Jean-Philippe Desroux on pole, ahead of Jean-Noël Longtui, Lionel Mazar and Ronald Berceau. They're off for 11 laps, with Desroux holding on to the lead despite strong pressure from Longtui and Mazar. The leaders get through Oscar Bridge without a problem. But then Desroux makes an enforced error, dropping behind the trio of Longtui, Mazar and Berceau. But Desroux gets back in it and is now on the offensive. Berceau gets overtaken here as Desroux moves into third place. Alain Bordas has a scary moment going through the chicane. Meanwhile, Mazar has caught up to the leader Longtui. The defending series champion pours on the pressure, and it's Mazar cracking under the pressure in the long left-hand corner. The number 8 car suffers damage, but he does manage to get going again and return to the pits. Longtui now seems to have a comfortable lead, but it wouldn't be for long, because Desroux has caught right back up to the leader. The creator of the 2-litre Midget Series, who is following the development of his new car in real time, isn't racing in the championship, but he does like to mix it up from time to time. We see Desroux move into the lead. Desroux, the new leader, just a few hundred metres from the checkered flag, but as he's not an active competitor, he moves aside, letting the others battle amongst themselves for the win. Jean-Noël Longtui retakes the lead, while further back Gutierrez and Codet are in a scrap. Berceau and Raymondis complete the podium in race 1 for the 2 litres. Jean-Noël Longtui was a cut above the rest in the Streets of Pau. The boss of the Annome team went on to win races 2 and 3. He was now looking to make it 4 wins from 4. Starting from pole in the final race will help his chances, but Mazar, Gutierrez, Cousin, Stéphane Codet, Desroux, Berceau and Bordas will try to end Longtrui's string of wins. There is little in it between the front row starters, Longtrui and Mazar, with pole winner Longtrui getting the upper hand, followed by Mazar and Gutierrez, while Deiro moves up to 4th place. Deiro is chasing after Eric Gutierrez. And Gutierrez does a good job keeping Deiro behind him before finally losing the spot on lap 3. Gutierrez is now under threat from Ronald Basso, who is still among the top mid-jet racers despite his lack of seat time in the new 2-litre car. Basso found his way past Gutierrez at Oscar Bridge for 4th place. Deiro has reeled in Mazar. They're now fighting it out for 2nd place. But Basso suffers a serious crash, and his race ends in the tyre barriers. At the same time, Deiro is dogging Mazar, and he finds an opening to take the spot 3 laps from the end. And soon he's all over the back of race leader Jean-Noël Longtrui. But Longtrui is out to make it a clean sweep at Pau, and he holds off the hard-charging Deiro. Longtrui takes his 4th success of the weekend, with Mazar 2nd, followed by Codet. Before we see if Christophe Carrière is up to the high aspirations of his teammate, we'll take a quick look back at the first 2 races of the weekend. In race 1 for Group A, it was another veteran using his experience to take him to victory. The win for Jacques Goodchow ahead of Stéphane Georges and Patrice Thiva. Goodchow's comes 26 years after he won the 1986 Pau F3 race. In race 1 for Group B, it was Stéphane Georges taking his first win of the year ahead of Patrice Garouste and Florian Potier. There's no one any happier than the race winner, Stéphane Georges. Now race 3 from Pau. As we mentioned earlier, Christophe Carrière will start from pole position ahead of Laurent Bombalère, Manu Damiani and Hubert Terrier. The lone lady in the 1300cc field, Juliette Palessin, starts from row 3 alongside Florian Potier. Patrice Garouste and Patrice Thiva are on row 4. And race 3 is underway with 9 laps of mid-jet action on the streets of Pau. And it's neck and neck between the top 2 as they head down the straight. It's Carrière in the lead ahead of Bombalère, Damiani, Terrier and Potier. Just behind them, it's Patrice Thiva getting around Juliette Palessin for 6th place. She would then be overtaken by both Jacques Goodchow and Stéphane Georges. Back with the leaders then, and it's Carrière from Bombalère and Damiani. Damiani makes a clean pass to take 2nd. And then it's Florian Potier getting past Bombalère. Potier is up to 3rd, while just in front of him is Damiani pestering race leader Carrière. The first incident in race 3 involved Julien Lambert and Russian driver Leonid Kokorin. Nothing too serious, thankfully, there. The gaps are closing among the top 5 runners, and after just 3 laps, Jacques Goodchow is already up to 4th after starting 10th on the grid. Living in Paris, Goodchow is used to pushing hard on narrow streets. And he's not done yet. Goodchow now battling Florent Potier. Goodchow getting past young Potier for 3rd, while Hubert Terrier made the most of the situation to sneak into 4th. 3 laps to go, and there's little in it among the leading trio. Nicolas Gaumard isn't worried as he watches his teammate and friend Christophe Carrière try to fend them off. Two laps to go, and Goodchow makes his way past Manu Damiani. Goodchow up to 2nd, and he's not finished yet. Goodchow closing in on leader Carrière. The number 27 car makes it stick in the long bend. Carrière can't defend, but he stayed close to the leader just until the flag. Goodchow takes a 2nd win at Pau, ahead of Carrière, Damiani and Hubert Terrier. And we don't have to tell you how happy Gaumard and Carrière are after the race. On pole for the 4th and final race for the 1300 cc's at Pau is Bruno Taltevoul, ahead of Nicolas Gaumard. Didier Lescos and Laurent Bombelaire on row 2, with Hubert Terrier, Manu Damiani, Thierry Lacourbe and Florent Potier starting behind. The sun is out and Gaumard moves ahead of pole winner Bruno Taltevoul. Lescos is 3rd, while Terrier has gotten past Thierry Lacourbe. Stéphane Georges has moved up 3 spots and is now running 6th. We're riding on board with Didier Lescos, who is just behind Bruno Taltevoul. Lacourbe and Georges make light contact. And at the same time, Lescos has to cede 3rd place to Hubert Terrier. Following their contact, Lescos and Lacourbe get it together again. And this time, it's a bit more serious. Bombelaire and Damiani just getting past the scene. Terrier is on the move, and he moves around Bruno Taltevoul for 2nd place. The pass was made just before the race stewards decided to deploy the safety car to allow for cleaning up the cars of Lescos and Lacourbe. And on the next lap, the race is back on. Gaumard still leads, but Terrier isn't far behind, with Georges 3rd, ahead of Taltevoul. While the leaders pull away, Florent Potier is struggling after Damiani's engine cover landed on his windscreen. But he keeps pushing hard despite the obvious handicap. It worked its way off on the following lap. Potier managed to return, and the race is in its final moments. The leaders are on the last lap, and Georges is right behind Terrier. But the number 111 car holds on for 2nd place behind Nicolas Gaumard. Stéphane Georges completes the race 4 podium. We can hear from the winner, Gaumard.